In the previous episode, we built the window for the back of the cabin, as well as the front door. On the outside, we finished the cornering so that the ash cladding went flush to the corner posts. We also started work on building some steps, using 2 pieces of live edge ash from the large tree that had blown down in a storm a few years ago. We then took a break from the cabin series to do other projects and just spend time in the woods. It's been a few months since we have been back here, but we felt it was time to finish off some jobs that needed doing. The first part of this episode is mostly filmed by Dad, as a few months ago my son, Oscar, was born, and so I have been taking some time to spend with my family before coming back to the woods to help Dad out with the rest of the project. To start with summer approaching, we needed to make some sort of water collection, and this is why we didn't put any fascia board on the back of the shelter. And so Dad had some rain guttering that he had kept over the years, and this was the perfect time to use it. We always knew we wanted an outdoor area to have a fire and cook some nice meals outdoors. And Dad said he had an idea for a fire pit using some old vintage bricks and a clay chimney pot. What he made was pretty unique, and this is how he did it. Fast forward a few weeks later, and I came to join Dad in the woods to put some finishing touches on the door. I had found some rustic iron hinges that I thought would enhance the overall look of the front end of the cabin.
You need a long screwdriver.
Give him that.
I just go pop, crack and fall over. I've no idea.
Nice.
Winter. Flambe bacon.
Flambe bacon.
Definitely traps the heat.
So, welcome to another episode. We are back here at the cabin. It's been a couple of months since we've been here, isn't it, Dad?
It's been a while, yeah, it has been a while.
In that time, it's gone from probably spring to summer, but we're here, and actually Dad's been here while I've been filming over the other side of the woodland. We've been doing this lately. We've been kind of double filming. Dad would come over here for a bit, and I'll go filming over there. And you've been doing some guttering, haven't you, Dad?
Yeah, we did the guttering, trying to make use, because we had no rain, so we're going to need water at some stage for cementing, whatever, washing your hands. So we rigged up the gutter there, as you can see, on this downward slope, because that's nothing on the edges. Yep. It's all going to run this way.
We're at the back of the cabin here.
Yes, there's a back with a window, and just rigged it up as per you can see there. There's already some water in it. I put some in there that I bought up, so we actually ship our water in. Can you believe?
That's how dry it's
That's
been.
how dry it is.
But this is free, guys. Dad's had this for, well, years.
20 years. Yeah, thrown up. No, spend no money. No shock there for all the TA followers of TA fishing.
Obviously, we could get a corner bit here, kick it in, and then run the pipe down the side of the cabin. Yeah. But then at the same time, you've got to kick it back out to then go in the water butt anyway. So this is just a temporary water butt, because we're actually starting another project, very small little thing, at the front of the cabin, which we'll show you in a minute. But this will be replaced. I've actually had some large oak, really old whiskey barrels. I got them from a reclamation yard a couple of years ago. I've just moved.
You empty the whiskey
I've moved them around from place to place as I've moved house. But I'm going to kind of renovate those a bit and adapt them and bring them up here. And one of them is definitely going to go here, and it just looks a bit more rustic than obviously the plastic.
And they're taller.
And they're
taller.
So
the pipe will go in, so they're going to come up to here.
Can take more water.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's one side, and Dad, thank you very much for doing that. I do appreciate it.
Yeah,
It does look
got
really
some
good.
water there.
And yeah, let's show you what else we've been working on. I've got to admit, Dad, this is a pretty unique looking fireplace.
There's only one of these in the world, that's for sure.
So I let Dad have free rein. He said, I've got some bricks, some old bricks. Why don't I bring them up? They're not being used at the house. Why don't I bring them up to the woods? I've got an idea for a little project. I let him be free as normal.
Dangerous.
And very dangerous. I let him out for the day. And this is what you come up with. And actually, it's really cool.
Yeah.
So just talk us through what you've done here, Dad.
I put a slab down, come up with a wife, ferried a load of ballast up. So we got a concrete slab down here. Just ran a little bit of surplus on there so that, it, you know, any ash does come out. It's a little bit of safety there. Then give it a day or so to dry. It's a little bit green. I did start and I was a bit keen, and I started the first row, and then I got carried away even more. So I built the entire thing.
Yeah.
But I had to come back because here's a 100-year-old chimney. This came off our bungalow actually, which was built in 1924, and I climbed up on my roof myself and took it down because I never realised how hard chimney bricks are. And I was up on the roof with a Kango hammer getting it down. So I've kept this for 17 years. I thought I could adapt that. Unfortunately, I was really tired one day after working again. It started to tip over and it was like slow motion.
It just went.
It rolled, it cracked. But I got the angle grinder, you know, put in the stone cutting wheel, and I managed to cut the shape out to slot over the bricks there. So it's cemented on because I wanted a sort of hood effect.
A bit like the villager fireplace. You get what's called a villager wood stove. They've got these kind of hooded things, but they're more with the hood up here. But this is like, when I saw it at first, I thought this is really weird.
It's weird, no question, it's weird.
But actually, we just had a fire, and we thought we just light a fire because we've had some rain last night. So we thought we're okay.
Just damp.
So we've had a fire, and it was just interesting. This is an experiment, right, Dad? This is an experiment. It was really interesting. Even with the fire over here, the flames were getting sucked right up the chimney. So we're just trying to figure out. Maybe you guys can throw in some suggestions.
Yeah.
Basically, how we can incorporate this hood of the fireplace here a bit more leaning into the fire. Whether we get some more, I was saying maybe some more clay roof tiles and somehow attach them here, or could we get a piece of metal? We could have maybe put some rebar or something that we could drill into these bricks. You know what I mean? And then you've got a layer of bricks or something that you could put on top just to give it. It needs that bit covered, in my opinion. You let me know, guys. But I think across there to there and all the way back here can be covered, and then there's a drawer for the fire. Well, that's my.
We even saw little bits come out of ash. Yeah, coming up there, and you could put your hand over. It's just stupid. It's not even over the fireplace, but the flames went back to the wall, and they wanted to go up there. I tell you what, it burned really well. I know everything's dry, but it did burn really well.
Yeah, throw in some suggestions, guys. My thing, I'm just thinking something across here that we can put. Whether
not metal,
we don't want
shiny metal.
Well, no, maybe if it was cast iron or rebar or something like that, to put some, to be able to cover this, so then there's more of a draw effect with the fire. But
it's like an outdoor fireplace. Is what I tried to achieve. Really,
it's good. It's really good. I like it. It's different. It's something I've never seen before.
Yeah, and all the bricks, you know, they came. They're 80, 100 years old. I've kept everything.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know, I've moved them about 5 times as you do from the boneyard round the back of my house. So I keep everything. And it's good to see them being used, to be honest, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's the first of many meals, probably.
Yeah.
And then we've got one more thing we've been doing together on the front of the cabin. Yeah. The front of the cabin door, and you'll see it's looking slightly different now. That's because we've got these rustic, really nice rustic kind of cast iron hinges, which I found. Actually, where we've had so much heat in the summer, look at this bark that starts to peel off like this, which we knew was going to happen. Just didn't realise it would be so quick. So we might glue and just try and keep that live edge on there. It's bound to happen because wood shrinks, obviously, when it's drying. Hence the small gaps which we've still got to fill. But so we've got 2 much better hinges up on the door now. It's a bit more rustic. And then also we've got a more rustic cast iron lock there.
Hasp and clasp, I believe.
Is that I
think it's called a hasp and clasp.
Bit like your traditional shed sort of one, isn't it? Obviously, still going to put some cladding stuff there. And then we've got the old handle. Yeah, it's looking a much better door than when we first had it. And then where Dad is, just there, is our bench, which it's probably the world's nicest piece of wood bench.
Easiest one to make ever.
Yeah. So we just whacked it on 2 logs. Yeah. I think they're 2 oak stumps actually. No, they're ash. But that's another piece of ash that we've had laying. We're getting through them now, aren't we?
There's not one about 5-6 sheets left that Ryan cut. If you look on the films, you'll see Ryan milling them.
Yeah, not many.
We just eaten it.
This cabin took up loads of it. But yeah, so we've got a little bench there, and this is our view, where we can just look out into the woodland. and it's really peaceful. Well, it is today. Barely any noise. And yeah, it's coming along nicely. We're nowhere near finished of where we want to be with it.
It's all stages.
But it's looking much better than when we started. So this is our last project, which we're starting over here. Do you want to come over, Dad, and show them? Bring that over. We are digging a hole. We've dug so many holes on this channel, but this is to give you an idea. It's really good clay, isn't it, Dad?
Yeah,
Here,
it's
like
good
it's really obviously it's rock hard at the moment because it's summer, but it's just I reckon if you could crush that down, powder it a bit, add some water, some straw, and things like that, mud, whatever, manure, it would make some really good cob mix. But we're digging a hole, and the reason is this is going to go in there. Now, hear me out. I know some of you are going to say, why are you putting an ugly red plastic bucket, which is from an old roof tank, right, Dad?
No, this one is from the side of my potting shed.
It's an old water butt, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's had water
Yeah.
on it for 20 years. That's why it's black inside.
So the reason,
fiberglass.
Obviously I don't really like plastic in the woods or anything like that, but the reason is we have had a very dry summer so far. We've had a heat wave recently. Some very high 40 degrees Celsius. We've had some high temperatures come through, and there's lots of small mammals and animals in this woodland. There's deer, there's badger, there's fox, there's mink, there's all sorts of rabbits, hare, and they are running out of sources of water to get places to drink. And so there's one or two natural ponds in this woodland. They're all dried up, so it's much harder for these mammals to find places to drink. Now, I've caught lots of these on the trail camera, and I know they come right up to the cabin here. So we figured, let's give back to nature. Let's help them out a bit. And this is why we have the plastic bucket, because we know it's totally sealed. It will keep the water in. Anytime it rains, it's going to fill up. The plan is we're going to dig this hole deeper, and we're going to probably leave, what would you say, Dad? About 4 inches?
There, yeah.
So we'll bury it quite deep, and then that way we can make a nice log decorative border or something around it so that it looks pretty and it doesn't look like plastic. And that way the deer and the mammals, the small mammals, they have an area to come and have a drink. And yeah, we can top it up with rain from the water butt over there. Yeah. We can top it up each time and just make sure in the summer months that they have somewhere to drink. So digging is not too fun any time of the year.
You wouldn't do it yesterday, would you?
Oh, it's so muggy. It was so humid and muggy here in the woodland yesterday. Well, compared to outside though, the field was ridiculously hot. Yeah. In here, it was at least 10 degrees cooler probably, or at least 6. Sorry. But anyway, so that's the plan. Dig down in this hole, bury that, and we'll let that fill up naturally. But also, we're going to fill up as much as we can now from the water butt, just so that the animals get a drink.
I just mentioned to them while we were working here. This happened 15 minutes ago. About 2 weeks ago, there was a massive
swarm
bees nest.
Bees, I think it's bees.
Way up in the trees. They absolutely just came down, didn't they? Making a really
all around our ears. We could hear them up there for a couple of hours, and then suddenly it was like, oh, there's one or two coming around, and then there was loads. So it's good to know that they're around.
Do they swarm once a year? Is that something that the beekeeping people could tell us about? You know, is it worth putting a beehive here?
I think next year, not this year probably. I'm probably a little bit late, but also with other projects that we're doing. But I think next year it'd be really nice to have a beehive and keep some bees here in the woodland. So let us know, guys, if you keep bees, because that's on the cards. Right, should we crack on digging?
I think so. Give it a go. And when he says we, draw straws, because there's only one drain spade.
We're gonna have to share it between us.
What I can't fathom, I've been having to, it's so hard, hammer out with the hammer and a big screwdriver to break it up. And I'm thinking the paint keeps coming off this screwdriver. And because it's not, down here in the hole, there's all bits of chalk. And I think Mike said there was chalk pits. I don't know if you guys can see that there. And that, look. I could do this. I can draw my own fish. There we go. Hello, how are you? So there we go, look, all that chalk. That was what it is. I wonder, all these bits, how they used to collect that years ago. I wonder, do they fuse it together? I can see now it is particles of chalk. Interesting, but hard work. It's a shame they're not gold nuggets, guys, but they are chalk, as you can see. I can even spell chalk. I'm going to find something to play with now. I'm not going to, I'm going to be writing all over the trees with this stuff.
Well, cheers for watching the episode, folks. Do appreciate it. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that footage that we just included there of the Dad doing most of the digging in that one. I had to pop off and do some other jobs as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to decorate the edge of that as well. And hopefully that works. Maybe I'll put the trail camera actually facing that, and we'll see if we can capture some animals.
Be interesting.
Yeah, see if we can capture them drinking it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy the video, hit the subscribe button, and also going over to Dad's channel, TA Fishing, hit the subscribe button on that one. And yeah, we'll catch up with you guys in the next episode. Oh, and don't forget, if you want to follow the whole series from when I bought the woodland to where we're at now, it's called My Woodland Life on, or TA Outdoors Woodland Life on YouTube, and I'll put a link to the video playlist in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and we will catch you in the next one.